Hello everyone, this is Jim Amos on the road with our Beyond Video cameras and heading toward the South Carolina Motorplex in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Oh boy, how about kicking things off with a very cool gasser. You are watching a promotional clip from our full-length 2-hour and 52-minute video production from the South Carolina Motorplex and Gainesville Raceway. The Southeastern Outlaw Nostalgia Pro Stock Association is also part of Saturday's program, and Jeff Rudisil on the far left is coordinating the group's race program with track officials. Well, here's some of the footage we captured at the Friday night test and tune on the 8th Mile drag strip at Orangeburg. And now it's showtime. Menard's Chevy show, to be exact. Yes, all day Saturday was dedicated to the various activities included within the Menard's Chevy show program. The Southeastern Outlaw Nostalgia Pro Stock Association was kicking off their 2019 season at Orangeburg, and several teams showed up to be part of the show. We are looking at the 1972 Plymouth Duster of Mike Whitaker. This is Harry Pinkard's Larry Morgan Nostalgia Pro Stock Tribute Pontiac out of Daytona Beach, Florida. Another Southeast Nostalgia Pro Stock team with some new equipment for the 2019 racing season is the Lee Edwards Vega team, run by Phil Church and Larry Clary. Here we see Larry driving a car up to tech inspection at this point. Makes it a lot easier with the front end off. Well, here's a couple more Nostalgia Pro Stockers coming out of the trailer. The Duster belongs to James Brown, and the black Dodge Daytona belongs to Leon Smith. Bo Beverly of Pound, Virginia was an NHRA Division II Pro Stock racer back in the mid-1970s. Bo ran this 1973 Duster with a carbureted Hemi engine and a 4-speed manual transmission. This Dodge Daytona is owned by Leon Smith, and it was built as a Pro Stocker back in the 1980s. Frank Teague is another one of our Nostalgia Pro Stock racers, and Frank runs one of the quickest cars in the group. Now, Frank drives the Darrell Alderman 1994 Dodge Avenger Tribute car. The car uses Mopar power and is topped off with a set of Dave Kofel B1 heads. In addition to the Chevrolet show format, the track also created a bracket class for non-General Motors racers. But the emphasis of the day was on Chevrolet and GM-powered vehicles. Also booked into the show is a Nitro Funny Car race, and Michael Harrigan's Wild Card Racing Fool's Gold Funny Car is in the house. Now, Jim Gifford will be driving the Fool's Gold Duster Funny Car, and his competition will be Paul Smith's Entertainer Corvette Fuel Funny Car. Man, I can't wait for this one to get started. In another area of the track, I found a great bunch of vehicles participating in the Menard's Chevy Show Car Show. Now, all the vehicles were either GM brands or powered by a GM engine. Well, we're going to begin with this 1965 SS 396 Chevelle. This 1985 G-Body Monte Carlo is owned by Greg Thornton of Barnwell, South Carolina. Man, I just love the houndstooth pattern upholstery. Now, the pattern consists of small, broken, or jagged checks, sort of like dog's teeth. Cody and Jamie Wise have put a wild lime green color on their 1968 Camaro. If you make a trip to West Columbia, South Carolina, you might see Steve Vidad's 65 C10 custom pickup cruising around. How about this beautiful 1964 Corvette Coupe? And I love those red line tires. What's a 39 Ford doing in a Chevy show? Well, its heartbeat comes from a small block Chevrolet engine. Back in the day, this 1950 Chevrolet pickup truck would have had a 6-cylinder under the hood, but today we find an LS-style V8 instead. In our full-length video, we profiled 28 vehicles that appeared in the car show. Now, during this segment, we also talked with a couple of the show car participants. 327.
300.
300 horse.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
Yes.
That's right.
Well, Jim, to start with, this was the original Gordy Faust Pro Mod Chevelle that he run in the Super Chevy circuit. And he's the first shoebox Chevy that went over 200 miles an hour in Bristol, Tennessee.
Well, here comes Casey Sims with his great-looking Chevrolet Vega. Now, Casey's heading up to the staging lanes where we're getting ready for another round of racing. Well, I see the Nostalgia Pro Stock cars are lining up in the staging lanes. Now, during our full-length video, we do driver interviews so that you get a chance to meet the guys that work very hard to preserve the early history of Pro Stock racing. And that's Paul Smith's Entertainer Corvette on the outside with Bodie Smith at the controls. Mike Harrigan's Fool's Gold Duster is here on the inside. They run out of South Florida, and Jim Gifford is stomping the loud pedal. Well, they also had a fire and smoke show with a couple of jet-powered dragsters. And on the inside is Gene Spires and the old Gordy Faust 66 Chevelle. And Gene gets the win over the dragster. Very cool. Well, this has only been a sampling of what you will find in the complete 2-hour coverage of the big show at the South Carolina Motorplex at Orangeburg. On May 18th, 2019, we decided to head over to the Gainesville Raceway for a test and tune session.
Now, our little group included J.D. Swan with his Joe Lapone Jr. Tribute Nostalgia Pro Stocker, Harry Pinkard and the Larry Morgan Tribute Nostalgia Pro Stocker, and Randy Ross with his Nostalgia Front Engine Dragster. Now, the first order of business was to take the cars over to the tech inspection area.
Once again, you are viewing a promotional clip from our full-length 2-hour and 52-minute video production. Now, this test and tune segment at Gainesville runs about 52 minutes, and it contains plenty of surprises along the way.
Well, under the shadow of the beautiful timing tower at Gainesville, we see the cars lining up in the staging lanes for a little test and tune action.
Well, okay, let's ride along with Harry Pinkard as he takes the Larry Morgan Nostalgia Pro Stock Tribute car out for a test and tune. Well, here comes J.D. Swan making his first pass on his Joe Lapone Jr. Nostalgia Pro Stock Tribute Camaro.
Wow, 819 at 171.
In our full-length video, we show you lots more of the test and tune cars running a quarter mile at Gainesville Raceway.
Now, they also had the snack bar open in case you got hungry during the day. And check out the cool street rod, man. Oh boy, you know what they say, strange things happen when the full moon comes out. Well, here comes Yo-Yo for another run. This will be his second shakedown run of the night. Trying to work the bugs out of the car, new car bugs, I should say. He's hoping to join the Southeastern Outlaw Nostalgia Pro Stock group with the car. And he's got the Joe Lapone Jr. graphics on.
In our full-length video, we show you multiple shots of Yo-Yo's wild ride and the carnage that resulted. Fortunately, Yo-Yo was not injured, but the car sustained major damage.
Thank you, Bruce.
Our final segment takes a look at the day chassis builder Tim Christ of Coast Chassis Design in Edgewater, Florida, takes a look at the car and helps Yo-Yo decide what to do next.
All right. Yeah. heavy shit. Fuck.